Welcome to Around the Table. Today we're at the Pizza Yard, which happens to be pretty close to my parents' house, and we visit here often. I have Matt with me, and this show came to be because we love home and I love food and I love to bring them together. And isn't that how this came to be?
Yeah, totally. We started just making pizza to force our friends to come over to our house. Like, it's always just been a social thing. Pizza's the perfect gathering food. Everybody shares, and we just called it the Pizza Yard because we wanted people to feel like they were coming over to our house for pizza.
So we're big pizza eaters in my house, and we are a novice at the pizza oven, but we're learning. So I'm hoping that you're gonna share a few tips. But before we get into tips on pizza, can we talk about the design of your restaurant for a second? Because I love it so much, and I can't stop looking at all the things from soft pink walls with the red accents, the cute tile on the floor, the great artwork. Can you tell me about that?
Sure. It's mostly all my wife. She's an interior designer, and this was kind of her first project where she got to call all of the shots. It started with the tile. That was the first thing that we chose. It's from Portugal, hand painted, surprisingly reasonable. And then next came the chairs. They're French school chairs.
Yes.
And they have little French graffiti written underneath all of them. And then we had them powder coated. We basically wanted it to feel casual European, but not like theme parky.
Yeah.
Like Disneyland in Europe.
I think you guys did it. I think you did it. And you got the marble countertops, which always a must.
They kept telling us
To not do it.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like,
that's what everybody tells me not to do, but I don't listen.
Pizzerias in Italy have been using the same countertops for 200 years.
That's what I always say.
And like, they just get character.
Yeah.
We're gonna do our hot honey, which is pepperoni, pickled jalapenos, and honey. And then we're gonna do our green one, which has this green sauce that's super flexible. You can use herbs from your garden, whatever's in season, and then pile on just a bunch of leafy greens that get crispy in the oven.
If you watch Dream Home Makeover, and you know Tyler, so he also lives nearby and his wood shop is close.
I mean, they built this for us. And they have a cabinet shop where they do all of their finish work, and they were just throwing this stuff away. And then I was like, wait, I'll burn that in my pizza oven. So now we just get all of our firewood from Killowen, and it's all high grade, like white oak that just feels so...
White oak and walnut,
White
beautiful
oak and walnut.
cabinetry scraps.
It feels so silly to burn, but it burns so hot, and it's saving it from the landfill.
Incredible.
I always recommend, making your dough from scratch, but Trader Joe's has great dough, Harmon's has great dough. You can get dough from us, or other pizzerias will often sell it. But if you make it yourself,
Ooh, that's so beautiful.
the most important part of it for me is to make it into great round balls, because it just makes it easier to make a circle pizza. If you start with circles, pizzas want to go back to circles, and so that helps a lot. I don't use semolina or cornmeal or anything. Just if you make the dough right, it shouldn't be too sticky, and you can just use a little bit of flour to get it unstuck. There's no secrets to it. It's just like the recipe that's been used for 200 years. It uses the tiniest bit of yeast. So we mix it, ball it, and then it rises for 24 hours in those balls.
So plan ahead. If not, go to Harmon's or stop by you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So we use 00 organic flour from Central Milling, which is right up the road in Logan. There's a lot of great 00 flours right now, like King Arthur. They're showing up in all the grocery stores, which is really nice. Having a dough box, you can get these for like $50 on Amazon, or even just using like Tupperware. If they can rise undisturbed without...
In the dough box.
Yeah.
I need a dough box. Pizza, even though it sounds easy, is actually kind of a messy hosting endeavor.
Oh, absolutely.
It's kind of stressful if you're trying to do all the things at once. And I host a lot, we do a lot of pizza nights, and when I am done, there's like flour and sauce and olive oil and cheese and just like stuff everywhere. And I think that by doing some of the prep work, just like you've done so beautifully today, just helps make pizza night a lot smoother. Okay, so we take the dough out, and then what?
drop it
into the flour.
You've got 2 sides to the dough. This side's gonna be less sticky, the side that was up in the air. You form it into a nice circle.
Okay.
Press down. It's not so much like a stretch. It's always weird to say, but I feel like you're like petting the dough.
Okay.
Which just makes it more even.
Okay.
The other fun tip is this like little quarter turn thing. Put it on the back of your hand, holding onto it, flip your hand upside down, and now you've done a quarter turn. And so then you can just like...
Woo, that's beyond me.
If you want to feel really cool, you could just like slap it and then start your little stretches. Yeah. This is when you start the like, you hold it with one hand, stretch, or like stretch it with that hand, and then put it on the back. You don't have to stretch it all the way to how big it needs to be, because when you pull it onto the pizza peel, you can adjust it there, stretch it out even more. As it sits on the counter, like relaxes a little more. So like this one has kind of shrunk a little bit, but now it's ready to just give it like one more little. If you're cooking at high heat, you want it to be very thin so that it can cook all the way through very quickly. I always go for just like as thin as can be. You can like see light through it, but the edge is still pretty thick. A couple pizza basics beyond dough. Everybody is always like, you should sell your sauce or you should bottle it. And I'm like, they do sell it. It's
tomatoes.
It's tomatoes and it's salt. So this is 800 grams. 1% of that is 8 grams. And so just 8 grams salt per 800 grams tomatoes. So whatever size can you're using. We hand crush our tomatoes. It's fun. It like reminds you to slow down a little bit. We just open it up, put it in a bowl, add the salt, crush it up, and then it's ready to pizza. You don't have to cook it. You don't have to do anything. This is fresh mozzarella that's been grated. In Italy, they're very specific with how you do your mozzarella. Regular mozzarella, fior di latte, is cut into batons, and buffalo mozzarella is cut into half moons, because then people can see that they got what they paid for. In Japan, they like shred their mozzarella, and they have the best pizza in the world. It's phenomenal in Tokyo. For the hot honey, we're just going sauce, cheese, pepperoni, jalapenos. I just exclusively quick pickle jalapenos, like half cup vinegar, half cup water, little sugar, little salt, and you could add garlic, you can add peppercorns. It's just so much better, and then they're just like so much greener. And then you can also pick out the orange ones if they have them. Sauce, mozzarella, pepperoni, jalapenos, and then when it comes out, we'll put on Parmigiano Reggiano. And so just, you don't have to go too heavy. That also makes your life easier at home.
1 scoop, you're good?
1 scoop, little swirl.
My swirl wasn't as pretty as yours. It'll get there.
If you use too much, then it just gets like soupy and like doesn't crisp up very well. With more toppings going on, there's gonna be plenty of moisture. It's always like a little less than you think you need as far as toppings go. And I like to have like a little tomato sauce showing through. Pepperoni, we use like this big stuff, just like 7 on this one, just because these are huge
7
pepperonis.
peps.
7 peps. And then jalapenos. There's also some serranos in here because they were orange and I thought that was cool. When you pickle them, it cuts the heat a lot. If you want them to not be as hot, you can add more sugar. And then the honey at the end also tones the heat down. I always tell people, like, even if you don't like heat, leave the jalapenos on till it comes out. You can pull them off after, because then you get all the flavor.
A little flavor.
Yeah.
I grabbed a hunk, guys.
I like it. Going bold. The final step is olive oil.
Okay.
Olive oil plus tomato sauce is just a dream.
Yes.
And so basically every pizza we finish with a drizzle of olive oil before it goes in the oven. And it's just a nice little 6. This olive oil pour is just...
This is, I think I want this.
Delightful.
I mean, one, because
We have
it's
a bunch
pretty.
over there.
Oh, perfect. I'll buy that in a t-shirt on my way out.
Everybody's always nervous about putting it on the peel. If you have good dough, it's gonna... You just have to trust it. You can either have somebody hold the peel and you can pull it on, or just do a little lift up, slide under situation. And then, like I said, you can readjust it, stretch it out, get it to the right spot. And then for me, the most important thing is to the little jiggle to make sure that it's not stuck.
So I'm gonna lift it up just a little bit.
Yeah, lift it up just a little bit.
And then
slide it under.
Well, I didn't get it all the way.
Well, you can pull the rest of it on.
Can I?
As you're like stretching it out, it'll
Okay. Made it
It'll work its way on.
98% there. Maybe actually 85, not 98.
And
Okay.
then get it to be a perfect circle. And you can launch it just like kind of right there in front of it.
I don't know how to do this.
Oh, give it a good little, yeah.
Is that the right place or should I have gone
Perfect.
more? Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, it's perfect.
Perfect.
Let me go fix that real quick.
You can just use like a spatula to move it out of your oven if you need to. And if you have just like a home little pizza oven, it's a lot easier because you can just pull it out, spin it around with your finger, and it's great. Do you want to pull the pizza?
Oh, I'm nervous. This makes me nervous. Okay, go like
You
this.
just set it right on here.
Okay. And then go like this. Oh my gosh, I did it.
You did it.
I can work here now.
Yep, you're hired. Another home tip is putting it onto a cooling rack so that it stays crisp.
Yeah, so it doesn't like absorb the moisture on the pan.
Yeah, it doesn't
right.
get soggy.
No one wants a soggy bottom.
I parm every pizza after it comes out of the oven because then you're getting like the actual flavor as it's intended. The hot honey, it's nice to cut before you honey it because
So then
you don't get messy.
It's sticky. Okay. So we're not doing hot honey. We're doing honey with the hot peppers.
Exactly.
Got it. What do you do? Do you do a drizzle or do you do a
little
swirl? You do like a
but,
swirl.
you know, whatever you prefer.
Okay.
That's hot honey.
Hot honey. So we got green pizza,
Green pizza.
like a salad.
Yes, it's super flexible. It has this green sauce that's herby, lemony, super flexible. You can use whatever's in season. The kale goes on top and gets
okay.
nice and crispy.
Crispy.
It's like a little kale chip situation.
I love that. I have kale coming out of my ears in my garden right now. Like I cannot I just keep making kale Caesar salads and kale every.
This is
I need an alternative.
a great way to do it. We've got basil from the garden, and you can like use stems and stuff because we're just blending it all up.
Okay.
Have you ever tried sorrel? It's like super sour spinach.
Sour spinach?
I love to have that in here because we already put lemon in it. This is green garlic. It's like all the garlic flavor with kind of the green vegetal-ness. Vegetal never feels like a real word to me. Little salt, lemon zest. I accidentally cut the lemon open first. Squeeze the lemon. Little grind of pepper. We give it a little blitz. Just to get like it kind of broken up, and then cream.
Can't be bad. Need to put a whole cup of cream.
And then you just blend it until it's whipped and thick.
You could do this on a flatbread.
You
could
do
do this on
anything, any vegetable or any leafy green. We use that as the sauce, and then
I've had a lot of like white pizza where it's just like olive oil, you know, cheese, and then the greens go on the top, but not necessarily, or a pesto, but not a cream sauce on the base.
sometimes I'll go crazy and put 12 herbs in there. You can also do a pickle pizza. Use this, go dill heavy in the sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Pickles, mozzarella.
Okay.
You can put potato chips on it after it comes out for a little crunch. It's so good. A little swipe. You just put a pile of kale on it. And then the cheese goes just right on top of that. It helps keep from like burning completely,
together,
and then it also keeps it in place when you're sliding it into the oven. A little drizzle of olive oil. We are ready. We used to have a little food truck at the farmer's market when we were in college, and we just make pizza on the back like 12 years ago. I would just kind of make pizzas based on what they were selling at the farmer's market or what was in my fridge. And so I just like sliced up lemons super, super thin, kale on top of that, cheese on top of that, and it was unbelievable. And this is kind of the evolution of that. And the pile of parm on top. And there you have it.
Beautiful. I am so excited to take all these tips and combinations and try them out in my own backyard. And thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It's been such a delight.
But I'm gonna take a bite also. So this is Around the Table, and we'll see you next time. Welcome.